So, hello, Pluto and Aquarius. What energy are we having coming forward for us? So, I'm going to be doing this for each of the signs. And it's very interesting that when it first comes into the sign, I think you'll feel that energy. And then will happen is that energy will be reactivated once you have something that is transiting or some kind of connection with Pluto somehow in the chart. So we'll see what that happens to be for each sign. So Aries, you're going to start with you by having ah oh my goodness. Each evolutionary turn requires you to give up who you think you are. Wow. Okay. So let me just grab these other cards that decided to fly away. Okay. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be looking. This reminds me of that energy of as you learn, you think you may be repeating something or you're going in circles, but actually you're moving up. And I think that is what you've been doing. You've had the North Node in your sign. Pretty interesting. And Chiron at the same time. That's a big deal. So let's take a look for you. This is the Wizard's Tarot. So I will see what we have. The Chariot. Look at that energy. That would be Cancer energy. And a major arcana at that. So, yes, definitely moving forward with that energy. Temperance. Temperance is Archangel Michael, which means that things are going to be put in your path at the right time to help you move forward. Oh, look at this infinity symbol. Temperance. And I'm going to say that's probably going to happen faster than you think, because normally temperance takes a little time. But because you've got the Chariot there, that's much faster moving energy. What else do we have? Whew. The Empress. Not kidding. 3 major arcana, Aries. The Empress. And as you do this, I think you're going to manifest things to you, which is awesome energy, great energy. So that is for Aries. Now let's take a look for Taurus. The universe. The universe. There's so much energy opening up for everyone in this time. And Taurus, you've had this energy of Uranus being there. Now Uranus is a co-ruler of Aquarius. So I think that energy is going to be very much a part of what's going on for you. At least until you get Uranus moved permanently out of your sign. So this is interesting. What do we have? For Taurus, the Lovers. That's interesting. Now, the Lovers is actually related to Mercury, and it's an energy of choices. And Taurus is that love energy. Interesting. 3 of Swords. So something didn't go according to plan, at least according to your plan. What else do we have here? Knight of Wands. But you keep moving forward and onward. This is actually the second fastest night. So this 3 of Swords energy, with the universe as the underlying card, I really get the feeling that there's someone out there for you and that you need to move forward into that. Yeah, I think Pluto, honestly, Pluto is going to be doing things for people that will allow them to break out of stuck energy. And that may be part of what's going on in order for you to get to this next level relationship. I find that Pluto does make space first before you get what you truly are on the path for. I would say Yeah, and the Knight of Wands came out, it just popped out again. Knight of Wands. Keep It's like moving on energy, moving on. And to have it come back again as it just jumped out of the deck as I was shuffling. So this is definitely your energy. So don't be afraid of moving on. Um, I would say that's what the universe wants you to do. Move on. And I know you're a fixed energy. I know this is tough for you, but it's for your greatest and highest good. So for Gemini energy, what do we have? Trust and act accordingly. Number 30 card, Gemini. Trust and act accordingly. And what did we have pop out? We actually had 4 cards pop out. Let's take a look. 3 of Swords came out again. Chaos. Disappointment. 2 of Swords, decision to be made. I do like this 2 of Swords because some 2 of Swords, she's very closed in like this. This one is like, the birds had better watch out. No fear here. No fear. I like this. And we also had 7 of Pentacles. Look at all the alchemy. And I'm getting this sense with you, Gemini, because you're also represent the magician. So for me, that's very much that alchemy sense of look at all the magical ingredients. But sometimes you have to wait for the right timing. You have to add one thing and then wait a period of time before you can add the next ingredient, before you can take the next step, before the stars align, right? And the Hermit. I like this for Gemini because it's moving on. It's with wisdom. It's with knowledge. Gemini loves to learn, loves the knowledge. And it's taking that with you wherever you go. The Hermit is also very much secretive in the sense of they're waiting with their information for the timing to be right. And with everything the way it's showing here, I think you're building on this. You've had this disappointment. You had to make a decision with the 2 of Swords, 7 of Pentacles. You're waiting for the right timing for things to be put in place. And then it's time. The Hermit is definitely about movement energy as well, not tied down, which is interesting for Gemini because I think that would be very, very workable for a Gemini who's a mutable sign to be moving on. So I really do like that energy. But we've had 2 of those twice. The 3 of Swords has shown up. So I think there's going to be issues coming up. And I'm wondering if it's not going to be collectively that we're going to have some things that disappoint us. So let's take a look at Cancer energy. The Phoenix rises into joyful abundance. The reason I'm laughing to myself here is because I am a Cancer sun and I had Pluto opposite my sun. My sun is at 25 degrees of Cancer. And it was just bugging me. This Pluto opposition was really, really tough. Transformative, but tough. I went through divorce, sold my house, 2 of Cups. Look at that energy for Cancer. That's very much a love energy. So the Phoenix rises into joyful abundance. I hope so. I think that's very much the energy of what's been happening. It's, you go through those rough times and then you go, you know what? Now that I've been through all that, now that I've been tested, right? The sun. So funny. Look at that joyful energy. That nothing limits me anymore. I feel like I'm living my best life, that I'm able to travel, I'm able to do things, I'm able to enjoy things. And I think it's fantastic energy out there. So let's see if there's anything else that wants to pop out for Cancer, because it seems like Cancer wants to and the Two of Swords. What decisions do you make? But this one, don't make it timidly. Make it boldly. What decisions do you want to make boldly? I like that. I like that. The sun is there. It seems like it's if you have the opportunity of love as a choice, what a great thing to step into. I think that has a lot of great possibilities to it. So I do like that energy. Thank you very much with that. So now we're going to Leo. Leo. Ancestor. Leo is opposite Aquarius. So you are going to be having oppositions eventually to Pluto. So at the very beginning of Leo, right now you do have Mercury there. Is it Mercury? No, Mars. Sorry. Mercury is in Sag. Mars is in Leo right now. And so the interesting thing is that Pluto going into Aquarius is opposite Mars, going up through the degrees, up to 6 degrees in Leo before it starts its retrograde. So if you have anything in those first 6 degrees of Leo, you are going to feel this energy because Mars will be in that vicinity anyway, and Mars will be causing some effects with the opposition to Pluto. And there's going to be another perfected opposition coming up between Pluto and Mars when Pluto goes retrograde. As it goes retrograde, it will go back over an exact opposition with Pluto. So very interesting energy. So I do feel like the ancestors are involved in this in a sense because as we have Mars move further back into Cancer, we are going to be dealing with a lot of things with family coming up, and I think that is one of the things that's going to be happening for you. Because if you are a Leo ascendant, that is your 12th house. So there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be triggered, that are going to come up that you weren't aware of. Very much so. 10 of Swords. An ending. And I think that's okay. Sometimes you have to have a complete ending for your own growth. I think right now I've seen a number of readers saying this, and I really think it's true that, we're at a time where you have to have that vibrational level. And if you don't, that's okay. That's your choice. And it's that person's choice. And you can't make any decisions for them because nothing is higher than free will. So, Four of Pentacles. This is very stuck energy. Very stuck energy, Leo. I feel like I think it's really hard right now. And I can't say that the astrology doesn't support that because it does. It does support that this is really rough going right now, at least at the beginning. These are things that you're going to be working through, and Pluto will eventually move on to other areas of the chart. And then the Ace of Pentacles shows up. Something new can start then. Something in the physical world can start new for you. So although it's really going to feel kind of rough for the next couple months for you, it's going to lead to something that you can now have a new beginning. And look at that completely free energy of this Ace of Pentacles. I like that energy. Okay, so that is Leo. Yeah, Leo. Looks a little rough. It does look a bit rough for that energy. And there's no getting out of it. You have Mars in an opposition with Pluto. And that will happen every couple years where that'll happen. So depending upon the degrees that it's happening with, yeah, I think that's something you need to be aware of. So from Leo, we go to Virgo. Virgo energy. Oh, first of all, let me pull the card. To be enlightened, lighten up, the sense of fun. Virgo, don't forget that you are a mutable sign, and that part of what happens when the South Node is going to be in Virgo is for you not to be so self-critical. And I think being organized and knowing what's going on and where everything is wonderful energy. But you can't let organizing everything in your life be your primary goal, is what I would say. Because the primary goal is human connection. Ooh, you want to come out. Seven of Pentacles, right? Um, and I feel like there's the song came in. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? I see that you're waiting for this timing to be right in this alchemical thing. But let me see what other cards come out for you. This is interesting. It's interesting, Virgo. What other thing is coming? It's like you're waiting and waiting. Good things are on the way, but what's this? Queen of Wands. And she is very unapologetically herself, right? Back in the day, normally you see that there's a black cat. Oh, yeah, there is one right over here. There's a black cat. And during those times, black cat's very superstitious. And she didn't care. That was one of the things about this, is that she didn't care about the superstition. She doesn't really care what anybody else thinks either, which is a good attitude for you to take. Don't really care what somebody else thinks, right? Your bottom line. Ooh, why do these want to be here? Okay. All of a sudden, it's like, ooh, missing some cards. Okay. This is weird. The messages are what they are. Hang on. One more card. One more card for Virgo. You. Knight of Wands. We've had this before. Moving on. Time to get moving. I love this knight as a woman. Yeah, I definitely get that feeling. So with Virgo energy, Virgo is mutable. And when things happen, you really do want a Virgo around, because they're like, okay, what are our assets? What can we do with them? What can we do with what we have? It's like, these are just jumping like crazy. It's like when you're storming the castle, know what all your assets are, right? The Princess Bride. We have to have a list of assets, and then I can plan. This is Wesley. So the Holocaust cloak was not listed in the assets. So I remember the craziest thing. So for Libra energy, cut away what is no longer needed for you. This is what the South Node has been telling you all along. Toxic relationships. And you see that branch? It says fear on it. No going along to get along. You need to release that kind of energy, because you're denying your own sovereignty, and you're actually blocking the other people from learning their lessons. Do people not like it when you make them responsible for their own things? Yeah, they don't like it. They'd rather have you do all the work. Libra, Virgo, Cancer. Libra, Virgo, Cancer. These are the signs, I'm guilty of it, that they do too much for the other person, to the detriment of both the other person and themselves. Three of Cups energy. Get out there and enjoy with your friends, the friends that are who truly are your friends, that celebrate with you and like value your opinion. Okay, what else? Page of Pentacles. The start of something new. Something in the physical realm. Three of Cups, Page of Pentacles. Very young energy. I'm getting very young energy. You know, sometimes when you cut away what is no longer needed, it makes that plant bloom so much more. If you have raspberry bushes, I'm still astounded. My sister just chops them all, chops them down to like this. And oh my goodness, every year they grow and they're even more bountiful. But sometimes that's what's needed. You know, if you just let them stay there and don't do anything about pruning, it's not good. All right, one last card to come out. Let's have a volunteer. Volunteer for Libra. Libra. Come on, you can do. Oh, all right. Lots of messages and opportunities coming in. Eight of Wands. But you're not going to be able to act on that if you haven't cleaned up your environment of the toxic patterns and toxic relationships. Cut away what is no longer needed or fruitful. Sometimes things will just, sometimes relationships like that, if you're no longer doing for them, they'll like, okay, well, I'll go find somebody else that I can do a woe is me and get them to do things for me. And if you're not giving them any energy, they might move away on their own, which is great. That's great. So give that a try. Okay. Scorpio. Let's get a card for Scorpio. Your greatest joy pollinates the world. Scorpio. Scorpio is fixed energy. And with Pluto, there's going to be some squaring of things in your sign. And that can be rough. So the first, I would say, you're having a square, the first 6 degrees of Scorpio. It's fixed energy. The first 6 degrees of Scorpio is going to have squares to both Mars and Pluto. And if you were born during the day, you could be going through a rough time, but I want you to concentrate on your greatest joy pollinates the world, because you can affect the energy. What I will say as a hint for one thing is Mars. Give Mars a job always. Give Pluto a job, but Mars especially if you're a day chart, physically move your body. No matter how you choose to do that, whether it's walking, running, swimming. Physically move the body. Use weights, something that is going to get your body fatigued. And then use grounding. The grounding energy of using crystals, watching a fire, being in the now moment. Pluto is going to be squaring eventually everything in Scorpio at one point or another, one time or another. And they are usually long-lasting transits, usually at least 18 months. So because Pluto kind of goes back and forth over degrees, and make sure that you really learn the lesson. And if it's personal planets, it will be a big lesson. But it's about moving up that energy. And depending upon what's going on for you, Scorpio, whether it's your sun that's in that house or whether it's your ascendant, deep transformation with Pluto. Because Mars rules your sign, and so does Pluto as a co-ruler. So it's very interesting that both the rulers of your signs are going to be squaring your sign. So huge transformation coming through. Okay. Oop. Oh, you want to be right here. Okay, I got it. 10 of Cups. It's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it. Emotional fulfillment. And there's nothing and no one who feels anything stronger than a Scorpio does. But look at that energy. 10 of Cups. King of Swords. Okay. This is Aquarius energy. This is discernment. This is taking a look at things and like, okay, is it a real problem Or is it something that's just running around in my head to worry about? Which in that case, move your body and don't do the monkey mind thing. Do things that will get you out of that um, racing thoughts, right? Discernment. Discernment. What else? Judgment. To me, this is very Hecate energy. This is making choices. As you can see, there's an owl up in the tree. Very wisdom. Very much wisdom. I think that you'll have to face decisions, and hopefully it'll be something that you'll be proud of later. There's going to be a lot of decision making for you. With Mars, you can make decisions. With Pluto is not taking no for an answer. So that's something that you need to be aware of. If something comes up and it's there from Pluto, you have to work through it. There's not going to be a choice, because Pluto does not take no for an answer. It's like Darth Vader. It's like, oh, yes, we are going to be dealing with this now. We're not putting it off. I'm not going to let you ignore this. It's time to deal with this. So that is very much that energy. Deep transformation for you, but a lot of that energy, I don't think it'll be as bad once we are finished with the energy of Mars. Mars is going to be going back into Cancer, which is going to be enshrined to things in Scorpio. So Mars will be giving hopefully helpful energy, because it is a trine, even though it's Mars. If it's a night chart, that'll be very, very motivational energy for you. And you may be able to get a lot done. We will have to probably deal with family relationships, but once that is straightened out and Mars goes direct back in, goes direct in February of next year, then you're going to have a lot of very, very helpful energy. It's between 17 degrees and all the way up to the 29 degrees. So all of that is what's going to be covered by Mars. So work first, and then very helpful energy. Very helpful energy for you. Okay, so from Scorpio to Sagittarius, synchronicity is a love letter from the universe across time and space. Synchronicity. Oh, I love this. So you currently have Mercury in your sign, right? So Mercury is going to be going retrograde in your sign in about a week or so, and will last until December 15th. So anything that you have in that area of your chart is going to get a visit from Mercury. And if it's a personal planet, if it's like your ascendant, if it's your midheaven, any of those things, Mercury going over that is our lessons. Don't take it as a bad thing. It's like a great opportunity to get something out of this Mercury energy. How do you learn? How do you think? What planet or point is it crossing for you that is going to be, I believe it goes up to 22 degrees of Sagittarius, and then it goes back down to 6 degrees of Sagittarius. So those are the degrees that are going to have some Mercury magic attached. So think about those things. Think about those things. And being that it's Mercury, the messages could be, again, love letters from the universe. Something is ending, though. It's going to be hard around Christmas. I'm not going to lie, for people, because Mars is going to be retrograde starting on December 6th. It's going to give that energy of having to deal with toxic patterns from childhood trauma. That's going to be brought up and have to work with it. And you have Sagittarius, which is in a square to things in Gemini. But I'm trying to think, Cancer and Sag. Yeah, that it's very uncomfortable energy. because it would be an inconjunct. So I would say that you're going to have some very uncomfortable times coming up that you have to deal with, or that you have to make a decision of, if you are dreading the holidays and it's just something that is just, maybe you have to make the decision that if if I dread seeing someone, why am I going? And then watch the synchronicities. Ask questions. Watch for synchronicities. 10. Endings. Done. You might just be done. Sag, well, maybe if someone lied to you, Sages don't like to be lied to. They are done. 3 of Wands. 3 of Wands is receiving energy. So once you are finished with something and you clear that space, it allows more things to come in. And 3 of Wands is very much about receiving energy. 2 of Wands is about asking. 3 of Wands is about receiving. Things will be coming in for you. Again, synchronicities. Synchronicities. Clear out the old junk. And again, two of swords, and this particular 2 of swords, it's make a bold decision. Don't hem and haw. Make the decision. Stick with the decision. And I know this is happening. I've had person after person tell me this. What is happening is you set a boundary with someone in your family. Then a different family member comes up and says, "Oh, it's the holidays. Can't you be the bigger person?" And I think at this time, because this whole time frame is about us ending and reviewing and getting over things from toxic childhood patterns, you need to address this. So no, a boundary is a boundary. And I know that someone that's maybe coming to you like, well, you know how they are. That's just so and so. That's just them. But they're stepping on your boundary. And that boundary was made to keep you safe. And I don't think anybody has the right to tell you to change your boundary, no matter how lovingly they put it. Your boundary is there for your protection. So make sure you stick with that. I know you're a mutable sign, and normally, you're so happy going and happy go lucky, but you're not. If you do that, you're not dealing with your personal issues. And you can't move on if you don't deal with those very, very personal issues. How are you going to have any kind of a better relationship? And this is going to allow you to do that. So, okay. Now we will go on from Sagittarius to Capricorn. Capricorn energy. Your 11-year-old self. Your 11-year-old self, right? Which is very kind of fun to think of that as Capricorn energy. Actually, it just occurred to me, with Pluto leaving Capricorn, you are probably skipping right now. You're probably skipping around your house. You're probably skipping around outside. You're like, it's done. It's finally over. It's done. It's done. So I'm sure you're very happy right now. Very happy. Happy, happy. Good energy. Enjoy it, Capricorn. You certainly earned it. You certainly earned it. So ooh, that's kind of cool. All right. That's too many cards, but what I'll do is this. I will shuffle this because they want to say something. So I'm giving them a chance if they get into a different order. Okay. But yes, you've got to be so relieved. You've got to be so relieved right now. And it's going, if you are a Capricorn rising, you now have Aquarius in your second, Pluto in your second house. How you have and handle your resources and your money is going to be changing. It's going to be changing for everybody, really, but especially for you. The Hermit, the Hermit energy. This is that wisdom that I feel like all Capricorns have. You know, they're so practical and down to earth. They are a cardinal energy. They are about stepping forward and about being a leader. And for many Capricorn to think it is to do it. So I think you can take the wisdom that you've learned from Pluto having marched through your sign and take that forward with you. Because if it was in your first house, um, you matured in ways that you never thought you would, right? What else do we have? Eight of Swords. Ready to escape, right? This Eight of Swords, this is usually Eight of Swords are about things going on in your head, but this particular Eight of Swords I really, really like because to me, she has a lot more power than what she seems. She looks, I mean, look at the way her hair is moving. Look at the fact that she may be tied, but she's so close to those. I think she's going to get out of this very easily. She's starting to move. She's going to let the swords cut the ties, and then she's going to be out of there. Getting past that energy. Ooh, Ace of Swords, the truth. And truths are going to continue to come out, but I think by now, Capricorn, you know what your truth is. Pluto probably gave you that message very loud and clear. And now it's time to move forward with that very, very much the Hermit energy. You can get out, get out of all that mind games that Pluto likes to play with people and just live in your truth and move forward with that. I think that is very much what's going on with you. And with that energy of your 11-year-old self. Like oh, I have so much I can do now, so much to look forward to. I've got all my ducks in a row. I've done the hard lessons that having Pluto in my sign has brought me. So we are going to Aquarius next. So welcome to the party, Aquarius. I have an Aquarius moon. Oh, this is perfect. Wanted universe creators. Yes, with Pluto in Aquarius, very much we are creating a whole new universe. Things are going to change, especially once Uranus, the ruler or co-ruler of Aquarius, moves into Gemini, air sign, currently in Taurus. The amount of technology and change is going to be staggering starting next year. We've already gotten hints of it. We've had little tastes of it because of Pluto dipping in briefly to Aquarius twice already. This is the third time it will enter and stay there now. So wanted universe creators, and that's Aquarians. They are so cutting edge, ahead of the curve. They're a couple curves ahead. They're like a mile down the road already. And we are trying to catch up. The rest of us are trying to catch up. I like having my Aquarius moon. It's very air oriented. It's very much being able to look at things in almost a Virgo type fashion, where it's like observation, detached observation. And we get a bad rap for people like, oh, you really don't care. No, I care. I'm a Cancer sun, but I'm just Aquarian moon. I'm figuring out the problem. I'm like figuring out how did we get to this? What's going on with that? You know, I'm very much that mental with a Gemini ascendant. So I'm very much working that out in my brain. It's like, okay. So, universe creators, what are we getting for Aquarius coming in? Ooh, Eight of Pentacles. Doing the work. Doing the work. concentrating on what gives you joy, what gives you the greatest joy in your work. Do that. And everything else then will fall into place. Things will come in when they're supposed to come in. That's what I've learned, is that you do the work, you face it. With Pluto, you have to face it. So I had to do that when it was opposite my sun. It's going to be going over my moon in a couple of years. I have a little time. I've already worked through some of the issues then because of Saturn returns and things like that. So you'll have a while to work on it. But when it gets activated, it's going to be fine. The sun, it will be fine. It's not all going to be a dark new world. It's not going to be that at all. It's going to be very much about shining that light. And I always laugh because I think all Aquarians are secretly hermits, because they do believe in the collective and things being equal, but they also like their downtime and private time. They'll be out there in the community helping, but at the end of the day, they want to go home to their cave and just read a book or do a new science experiment, something like that. What else? Six of Pentacles. Sharing knowledge. Very much what we're going to be doing in this new age of Aquarius is sharing knowledge, because everybody gets further along. And guess what? Ideas come to people when the ideas are put out into the universe that it's time. It's like there's this thing with patents that everybody will get an idea for a patent, and it's who gets the patent registered first, because they all had the idea almost exactly the same in different places. And it's just time. It's just time for that to happen. It's time for that to be brought forward. So I think of this whole sharing of energy for this particular one, to me, is very much shared energy, shared an equal exchange of energy. That's what I feel like this is about. So for this Aquarius, those three cards, I really think they're very good. It's just about doing the work. And if you let Pluto do what Pluto does best, which is break you out of, thing is with Aquarius, the only thing I think would be bad about this for Aquarius is it is a fixed sign. So Pluto will maybe do some things to get you out of things that might be stuck energy for you, that maybe you had this idea and you've had it for a long time and you're like, but it's a great idea. But it needs to be something different, or maybe the problem isn't what you think it is. It's something else that needs to be solved. So Pluto will change your focus in a big way. So let's see. We now have Pisces energy. 3, 2, 1, jump. Pisces. We do have Neptune is in Pisces right now and will be in a sextile with Pluto, which is very good energy. And the thing also that's happening is Neptune will be going direct in December, and it will be, I think it's going to, when it goes direct, Mercury will then be direct at that time as well, which I think is amazing, because to me, Mercury will be direct in Sagittarius. And so you have Sag and Capricorn and Aquarius, and then Pisces. So it's a square. How amazing is that? That you're going to have the opportunity with Neptune direct in its own in its home sign, and you have Mercury direct in Sagittarius, and it's going to give that energy of anything is possible. What gifts do you have coming through? There's going to be so much that people can imagine. And if you can imagine it, you can make it happen. That's the really cool part about the times that we're living in right now. It's possible. It's all possible. So, Pisces, 3, 2, 1, jump. And Saturn is there going through Pisces, now direct, to make those dreams come true. Saturn will put you to work and make sure those dreams come true. Okay. 3 of Swords. This has come up before. So it may feel like a train wreck in the beginning of December, I feel like. Or it's like there may be disappointments. I'm not concerned about that much, really. 5 of Pentacles energy. You can't rely on hierarchy to solve your problems. And this, to me, is what this symbolizes, hierarchy. When a disaster happens, it's the neighbors next door, it's your local community, your local church, all of those things that are there to lend support in the immediately minutes and hours following any kind of disaster. And I do think that we're going to have issues with water because Neptune, whenever Neptune goes either stations direct or retrograde, that energy, and it's in Pisces, a water sign, is going to make things very, very strong. I do expect natural disasters, flooding, snowstorms, all of those things. Let's see what else we have here. 7 of Swords. It's the knowledge. It's the knowledge. So I think, to me, this is like hidden knowledge. So I'm interested. Let me just check this. I want to clarify this because that was the message I got. Hidden knowledge. What hidden knowledge? Oh, 8 of Wands. Okay, hang on. I feel like there's hidden knowledge that's going to be coming out. Ancient hidden knowledge coming out. All right, volunteer. What else do you want to tell me? Oh. King of Swords, discernment. Aquarius energy. Okay. You want to come out. The Chariot. And I think this is going to be moving things quickly. This is Cancer energy. We're in a whole different space. When this July, Neptune's going to be moving. So at least the first dip. So we do have a lot of things coming up next year as well. And I think for you, it's a matter of, don't be disappointed. I think there's hidden knowledge coming forward for you. And Pisces being that spiritual, the North Node is going to be moving there. Very interesting. So there's so many things out there that are possible now. Don't be disappointed at first, because I think things are going to turn around. And trust your local community. That's your go-to during this time. So thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye.